Welcome back, folks. Once again, we will be highlighting this civil rights issue that impacts individuals from all over the world. For the next 6 minutes, take a listen to an op-ed that was written by Elizabeth Bacher, a young, non-speaking autistic woman who happened to be valedictorian of her college class in 2022. Some facts before getting into Elizabeth's op-ed. Here we are on St. Patrick's Day, and the Communication Bill of Rights for Individuals with Disabilities, Bill S-7792B, remains in Senator Patricia Fahey's Disabilities Committee. On March 11th, while at the state capitol, I had the opportunity to meet with Jake Egloff, legislative director for Senator Fahey. According to Jake, there appears to be concern around what type of communication would be classified as quote unquote valid. So at this point, that's the best information we have thus far as it relates to this bill. On to Elizabeth's writing, which appeared in the Albany Times-Union newspaper, March 11th. She writes, last June, the State Assembly unanimously passed a historic civil rights bill guaranteeing that no government agency can deny a person their preferred method of communication. Democrats and Republicans alike agreed on a simple principle. If you are disabled in New York, the state does not get to take away your voice. 9 months later, that bill, A7363C, S7792B, sits trapped in the Senate's Disability Committee. Held hostage not by voters, not by facts, but by the objections of the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. This legislation would protect veterans who lost speech to injury, seniors with neurological disease, deaf New Yorkers, and thousands of autistic residents whose only reliable voice is a keyboard or letterboard. It is not radical. It is compassionate, practical, and long overdue. Non-speaking New Yorkers are among the most underestimated people in the state. Many have been labeled intellectually impaired because their bodies cannot execute what their minds can conceive. When they gain access to typing or another form of expression, families discover humor, opinions, memories, whole inner lives that were assumed not to exist. To deny that access is to deny personhood itself. I know because I am a non-speaker who used to be trapped in a quote-unquote silent cage. Having access to typing changed my life. I've been able to receive a mainstream education and pursue my passion to help others like me. In 2022, I gave the valedictorian address at my college graduation. I present at conferences across the country to reach families with non-speakers and show them what non-speakers can do when we can communicate. My nonprofit organization helps thousands of people around the world learn how to type like I do. Yet I know children who type to communicate here in New York who have had their supports and devices confiscated or denied. And I have heard horror stories about people in nursing homes who cannot speak, having their communication boards put in a drawer and never used. These are not rare mistakes. They are the result of a system that believes agencies, not individuals, get to choose how disabled people communicate. But agencies are created to implement laws written by elected representatives. They are not elected. They do not answer to voters. The bill before the Senate does not promote any particular method. It does not mandate training programs or force staff to become experts. It simply says this: a person's communication may not be taken from them. That right already exists under the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. New York should be enforcing it, not debating whether it is optional. In other words, this is not an abstract turf battle. It is about real people who are losing the most fundamental human right, the ability to communicate. I urge the release of this bill from the Disability Committee, preserving communication rights for the voiceless, for non-speakers like me. Let the people's representatives decide, openly and on the record, whether all New Yorkers may have voices. New York has led the nation on many civil liberties. We have an opportunity here to lead on disability rights and close a gap where too many people are falling through. Communication is not a privilege granted by an agency. It is a civil right. Let's act like it. Elizabeth Bonker is the founder and executive director of Communication for All. In closing, Elizabeth, thank you for leading the charge on behalf of not only the non-speaking community, but the entire disability community. You are a true force to be reckoned with. And folks, you should know, this writing took hours for Elizabeth to write as she tapped one letter at a time. Separately, I do want to thank Commissioner Willow Bear and Director Greg Roberts from OPWDD for spending time with me on the 11th. Officially, OPWDD does not take positions on pending legislation. In my humble opinion, I did sense a ray of hope based on my conversation with the commissioner. So I remain optimistic this bill gets passed and New York State makes history. Folks, it doesn't matter where you live in the world. This bill will change lives. So please take action. Sign a petition we've set up on change.org. Call Senator Fahey's office, email Senator Fahey's office to support Bill S-7792B. Call the majority leader, her boss, Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins. And for all you New Yorkers, please call or email your local senator. And for any outside the state, call Senator Fahey's office anyway. It certainly can't help. All this information will be described in the description for you. So thank you for your time. That's it. Till next time. Bye bye.